Okay, looks like we're live, guys. 2 live streams in one weekend. Aren't you all very, very lucky? This is not a Revelstoke snow update. We're casting our eyes back over to the other side of the pond, back to a place that has a special place in my heart. That's the little ski town in Austria called Söll. And one of the things that I love doing with some of these live streams is getting other people on who are involved in the ski industry, whether they work, they live there, and hearing about their experiences and what it is that they do. And today I'm going to be joined by someone who I actually spent a season with. We were working for different companies at the time. This was when we were both in Söll. He has stayed there all these years afterwards. It's his home. And right now he's working on a little bit of a project which he's going to talk more to us about. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in Joe Cummings of Pisteheads. How are you, Joe?
Hi, Matt. Very well, thanks. Yourself?
I'm doing all right. It's snowing over here, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, everything's covered in snow here as well, so I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, and
I like this time of year.
How much snow have you got so far there?
Well, to be honest, in the village, when I came out my house the other day, there was about 30 centimeters on top of my car. So, for this time of year, that's quite, a great start. And it's really cold, which is also a good sign.
Yeah, so, it seems like Europe's had a pretty good start. Touch wood.
Yeah, hopefully it's starting as it means to go on.
Yeah. And have you been up on the hill yet? What have you found the conditions like?
I was up on Friday, and it was the piste were fantastic, to be honest. It was the one day it wasn't really snowing; it was a bit sort of wetter.
Yeah,
but the piste were fantastic, and what was open was lovely. It was only Elmau; it wasn't the whole of the ski veld. It was only Elmau that was open. But
gotcha. So that they'll be opening up more in the next couple of weeks, I guess. The one thing I remember about the ski veld was just how good the snowmaking network was.
It is, yeah. I mean, that was the beauty of it last year. We didn't get much snow, but no one got much snow, and so we were actually better off than some other higher resorts because of the effort they put into the snowmaking, which is it's brilliant, really. 85% of the area is covered with snow cannons, so as long as it's cold enough, we'll have fantastic pistes.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're really looking forward to for this winter?
Yeah, obviously snowboarding as much as I possibly can, which is my aim going into every winter. And just to basically grow Pisteheads, and obviously we'll talk about that a bit more shortly. And
I'm excited to learn more about it, mate. I really am. But we were just chatting actually just before we went on, like trying to figure out how long it was since we were both in Söll. It's got to be like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I'd say it's 5 probably.
Yeah, I bet the resort's changed quite a bit since then.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I mean, there's not as many bars as there used to be when you were here, or there's the same amount but a different style of bar. There's a few wine bars and things like that instead, and nice cafes. Yeah. It's a little bit more chilled, but in some ways that is, great in another way.
So so what's not there now? Because I remember when I was there, the Red Horse, I think, was just going to get knocked down.
Yeah, well, that's gone now.
Yeah.
And the Jam Jar is sadly no longer open.
That's a shame.
Yeah, another really cool bar. Yeah. But the Bar Austria's been done up since you were here. Oh, that's nice. Really nice now. Obviously the mill's as strong as ever.
Yeah.
The whiskey hasn't been, what it was because of COVID. It's struggled, but there's lots planned for it this year.
Yeah.
So, it won't be open every night, but when it is, it will be, full to the rafters, as they say.
Yeah. It really struck me actually in terms of like the après environment in the whiskey was like nothing I'd ever experienced like before. Obviously, like I've been in VT where there was such it was a big party town, no doubt, but like with with the whiskey in Söll, there was just this there was definitely a close, intimate community feel to it, despite almost every week there's just new people coming in.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people fall in love with Söll for, really. Because it's a smaller town, everyone gets to know each other. Everyone, there's sort of it's less intimidating to become part of the community because it's small and tight knit, and to be honest, it's a village full of lovely people, so it's quite easy to become part of the group, so to speak.
Yeah. So are you still heading out there, or are you heading to these fancy wine bars now?
Oh well, you know me. Now I still love the dirt and the older bars.
Yeah, I miss
the dirt and the atmosphere.
I miss the games of nails with the little Jaeger shots and all of that. Yeah. So it's a little bit more of a low key affair out here in Canada.
Yeah. Do they still have an après scene, or?
It's do you know what? I think again it depends in what type of resort you're in, right? Like somewhere like a Big White or a Whistler, there's definitely going to be a lot more sort of partying. Revelstoke, because actually the ski hill is slightly away from the town. It's more about so obviously there's not too much on at the base of the resort at the moment, although there are plans to grow that. But I'd say the idea of a good night out in Revelstoke is, you go to one of the bars, and there are a couple. There's a really good ski dive bar called the Village Idiot, which is all made up of vintage ski chairs, etc. Have some food in there, and then if it's on a weekend, you head to the ice rink and watch the local hockey team play.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's cool because you get about 1,000 people in there, and all the seasonal workers love it. There's a section for the Australians, and then there's a section that's now been dubbed West Ham Corner.
Yeah,
and that's right by the penalty box. So whenever any of these kids get sent in for 2 minutes, there's a K-lot in there just singing football chants at these guys.
Brilliant. Sounds like good fun.
Yeah. We've got our first comment in here from Richard. Richard saying, just under 8 weeks until I go to the Italian Dolomites. Söll was actually my first ski resort abroad, and I certainly remember the Whiskey Mule as well.
I bet he doesn't remember leaving the Whiskey Mule.
No, he probably doesn't. Yeah.
Not many people do.
Yeah. Oh, it's many a night. I'm glad that everything was in walking distance of the Whiskey Mule because, gosh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, you were living in a great location, bang in the middle of town.
Yeah. The one thing I do remember is running up quite a few tabs.
Yeah, I mean it's a great thing, but it's also a dangerous thing,
It is, yeah, and you have to make sure you clear that at the end of the month because no, it was. But tell us a bit about your story, Joe. So obviously 4 or 5 years ago, since I was last there and saw you, and what have you been doing since?
Well, I mean, I suppose sort of just after that, it was the following season. I think that then the world stopped, basically, wasn't it? The following winter. And I kind of, obviously, my girlfriend is from Austria. So I ended up staying in Austria for that summer. And then luckily that was the same time that Brexit was sort of happening. And if you were in Austria at the time working, they sort of granted you a 5-year visa, which is, how I'm still here now. And I've kind of been here most of the time ever since. I go back to England here and there, but I try and spend as much time here as possible because being in the mountains is my happy place.
Yeah.
And then after that, because the sort of tourism industry changed a little bit over those years as well. The repping game changed a bit as well and shrunk, I would say. So I didn't bother going back to that. I went back to working in the Whiskey Mule, or the Mill, which was the first place I did my very first season. And I spent the last 2 seasons there, which was loads of fun. And sort of that was I suppose in some ways, the place that I sort of came up with the idea of Pisteheads.
So go on, tell us more about that, because you sent me this snapback, and I love the logo, I love the quality of it, and I've seen, obviously you've been starting to post some stuff on social media. So why don't you sort of tell us a little bit more about the project?
Well, it all started a few years back, just before the year after COVID hit that following winter. Me, my brother, and a friend were planning to sort of start a company, sort of filming people on the mountain, you know, and taking people for days. And we'd called it Hi Guys Media because we bought a drone and, you know, everything you can imagine to sort of go for that. Sadly, that year there wasn't no tourists allowed, so it kind of, you know, put that dream to the side for a little while. And then, yeah, just sort of last winter, going into it, I sort of came up with the idea of the name of Pisteheads and the logo. And then I got one of my friends who's very talented to make me the sort of the beast logo, the Beast, as I call it. And, you know, then I just got that on a hoodie. And then someone else was like, I really like that. Can you make me one? And then, you know, sort of went from there a little bit. And then, you know, sort of towards the end of the season, people were saying to me, oh, you're starting your own clothing company, this, that. And I wasn't really sure of the direction at that point. And then basically over the summer, you know, with plenty of time to think about it, I've decided you can't really go down the line of trying to start a clothing company, in my opinion, because you could never compete. And it's not really something I ever had the, you know, dreams of doing. So obviously then I was speaking to some of my friends as well who live within resort or within this, like, you know, the industry, let's say, sort of bouncing a few ideas around. And, you know, we came up with this sort of idea where it'd be great to sort of create tours for people and days for people, you know, people that don't know a resort very well, you know, a day where, you know, the whole day is kind of planned for so at the end of it, they get a video. And
nice. So you're giving them a personal experience of the resort. I might have lost you, Joe. See if we can't get Joe back. Oh, I think we got you.
yeah, we're back.
You broke up midway through that. From what I gathered from what you're saying there, the idea is you're giving visitors sort of custom guided tours of the area.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of a day where we get a group of like-minded people together, and, you know, we all meet up in the morning. Sort of, you know, we'll give them a sort of day's briefing, so to speak. Then we'll take them to the mountain. We've sort of got a really good ski route planned for the morning, and then we've teamed up with one of the restaurants in the mountain that we can have sort of like a VIP area at lunchtime, a special menu. You know, they'll supply a few shots of schnapps, I'd say, and when the weather's warm enough, you know, we'll team up and put live music on at lunchtime and stuff there. And then, you know, another ski round in the afternoon, a sort of slightly easier route because, you know, after a lunch and maybe a couple of beers, it's a sensible thing to do. And then sort of back to Söll for an après party in the mill with a VIP table reserved.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
And what, do they get a bit of free clothing at the end of that there, or is that?
Yeah, there's a goodie bag included, which has got a t-shirt and some other bits of merch.
Yeah.
Dare
I ask what the Austrian, the local Gemeinde think of this being its sort of? I mean, obviously you've got Austrian visas, right? So technically, I guess it's a local business.
Yeah. I mean, I've basically teamed up with the mill for a lot of these things, and, you know, we've spoken to the tourist board a lot, and they're more than happy for. I mean, they're sort of advertising some of our stuff on their TVs and their windows, so they're more than happy for us to do whatever we can because it's all good for Söll.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's an experience-based tourism, right? And it's
Yeah.
I can see that being super beneficial because, like you say, the sort of that whole in-resort rep market has shrunk gradually over the years, but people still do appreciate being shown a nice time, especially in an area when they actually don't know it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to put on, I don't really want to call it a product, because I want to create just a fun day basically that people want to go on. And it's not just aimed at people that are new to Söll. It's also aimed, like, Söll gets loads of people that come back every year. It's also aimed at, you know, everyone really. It's all inclusive. You know, and I will have, you know, different people tagging along with me that sort of, you know, have been here for years and things like that, you know. So I think that will attract a lot of, not attract, but, you know, people that have been coming here for years have always liked skiing with people, you know.
Yeah. No, it's a service, that is. Yeah, it's rather than a product, it's a service that you're giving. Like, how does that work in terms of like taking people on the mountain? Like, do you need any like certification for that?
Well, we've basically looked into it and spoken to sort of people that know and asked for advice, and they've basically said as long as you're not showing someone how to ski, doing any sort of form of instructing, and you're basically just saying like, right, at the top of the piste, we're skiing towards that lift there, and then we'll meet at the bottom there, then, you know, we're not doing, you know, we're not
as long as you're not right. So as long as you're not giving any form of like education or lesson format, and you're just sort of skiing with people. It's a good job that you're doing this in Austria and not in France, because that would be a flat no with the French.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we don't want to teach people. We want people that are a good quality skier anyway. Obviously, like, they need to be confident skiing red runs for their own safety more than anything.
Yeah,
and for the enjoyment of everybody else.
Yeah. It sounds really exciting. So is it up and running yet, or what stage is it at the moment?
Well, basically, because the lifts aren't open and there's nobody in resort yet, we haven't done it yet. But it's kind of based on a sort of day we held one in the Corona season, which was the gondola challenge, where we had about 35 people sort of ski around for the day together.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
Like the 10 gondolas that were open, we had to do them all in a day, and also have a beer on every single one. And it was a great day. And then at the end of last winter, we called it the gondola piste up, and it was like a sort of end of season workers' day. And once again, that was great fun, and everyone enjoyed it and said, you know, sort of, it's something that you should offer. And that's kind of where the idea, I suppose, came from for the days.
I love that vibe in Söll. Again, that's just bringing back memories of I remember on the piste maps, then they even had like it was like an 80K challenge and a 100K challenge.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they've got more now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, Kitzbühel.
Yeah,
it's next door, isn't it? So now, if you've got the super ski pass, you can now do I think it's the longest connected route without repeated pistes in Europe, at least in Europe anyway.
Yeah.
And it's called the Kitzbühel Tour.
But you can't ski over from Kitzbühel to the ski veld, can you?
No, it's literally a 5-minute bus ride from the bottom of Key West to Kirkberg.
Oh yeah, Kirchberg, right? That's right. Yeah, I remember driving through that. That mate, that would be a fun day out.
It would, yeah. I mean, it's. I think it's pretty intense. We've tried the ones in just the ski veld before, and it's a full day.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to anyone that does manage it.
Yeah, like you've
I've
got to
been
have all the
but-
you've got to have like all the timings go right, like no
Yeah,
lift queues or bus delays.
yeah, completely. Yeah, you need the lift queues to work right. You need to sort of like have your lunch ready to eat on a lift and minimize toilet breaks. But I mean, it's like if you really go for it, you want to do it at quite a time of year, and yeah, it's a great place skiing.
Well, I remember the day where we tried to do that 100-kilometer challenge, and I think we only ended up doing about 85 of it. And you just managed to get back to the top of the Haut Salve on the last lift, and then enjoy a beer at the top before skiing down in the dark.
Yeah, which is great in itself.
yeah, it is, especially when they groom the pistes afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, they try to make they come up now and tell people to go down before they do it. A lot of the time, they're a bit stricter, sadly.
Boo.
But
I mean, if that umbrella bar is still open as they're doing it, it's so enticing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. The umbrella bar at Mid Station is still open. We've also now got an umbrella bar in town.
Is that the one just next to the roundabout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that being built, because it's funny you're talking about this. So during COVID, I paid a visit to Söll like during an autumn there, trying to find ways still to try and come back out to the mountains. But I didn't have an Austrian partner or anything, so I had no visa, so it was nigh on impossible. But yeah, I remember seeing some of the changes there. What's that bar like?
Yeah, it's a lovely bar in the summer, and in the winter, it's it's one of the first ports of call down off the mountain, so it can be pretty wild. You see videos of the bar being set on fire and things like that, and people dancing on top of it, and yeah, it's a bit more. It's a bit more of the traditional Austrian après than what the most of the bars were like when you were here.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do miss a bit of that. I won't lie. I do miss it. But yeah, I mean, so when things do open, Pisteheads, then is it just the plan is to hit the ground running, or is there like an opening or?
Yeah, well, like I say, I've teamed up with the Mill, the Irish bar in town, because it's a great place to base sort of stuff out of, and they're more than happy to get involved, and it brings people into the bar as well, so it all works for them as well, and it's a symbiotic relationship, as they say. And yeah, the bar opens officially this Friday. We've got a weekly pub quiz based in the Whiskey Mule that we're looking forward to as well, with live music and stuff. And then because there'll still be a couple of weeks until sort of tourists properly arrive, we've got a couple of ski days for the workers planned.
Nice. Is it the same pub quiz that we ran as reps, or is it a new format?
Well, what
I mean is, do we still get the couples to do dirty dancing at the end of the evening?
Quite potentially, yeah. Quite potentially. I think once again that all depends on the room, doesn't it?
They don't really have a choice.
Yeah, no. To be fair, even if it's a room just full of like men, you can get them dirty dancing at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the format's very similar.
It
is, yeah. And because I mean I always remember the quiz as being one of my favourite nights as a rep.
Yeah. The karaoke in Bar Austria is always a good one as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think that still goes on. Yeah,
it was very. There was a lot of incentives in terms of free drinks tokens to do karaoke there. It's always
well, it helps, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does help.
It does. When you've had like 2 or 3 free beers, you'll pick whatever you feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You struggle to get the microphone off me on nights like that.
Yeah. Well, out of curiosity, how many years have you now been in Söll?
This is my 9th winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I love the place. It's very different place from when I first came here on holiday. But I love the little village. I think you can still have a fantastic night out if you want.
Yeah.
Slightly less choice of places to go, but you know, there's still live music everywhere. Everywhere still puts on a fantastic. And then there's just, like I say, there's a different type of bar to go to if you want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's definitely a good variety there. But is that how you kind of set on the place? You visited on a ski trip and then it caught you?
Yeah, we sort of used to go somewhere different every year as a group, and then the group got smaller, and we went to Söll for the first time, and sort of ended up in a whiskey mule till 6 o'clock in the morning every night, and thought it was the best place in the world.
Yeah.
Made friends with all of the bar staff there, and sort of it just went back for a few years, and then ended up convincing one of them to give me a job, basically. And I've been here ever since, and you know, I love it.
Wow.
I love it, especially with the ski area. I think the ski area is great.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good access point for a lot of other ski areas.
They should throw you a bit of a party when you hit that 10th year, because I know they like to celebrate when people keep coming back.
They do, yeah. But the problem, I'm not coming here as a tourist. If I was coming here as a tourist still, then you know, I'd get that certificate.
I think that they should phrase it as being like a local brand ambassador, Joe. I'd say.
No, well, I mean, I might make the certificate, send it to the tourist board, and see what they say.
Yeah, can you throw this? Just randomly came in the post. Can you know?
Yeah,
throw a bit of a thing.
Just share it.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people who are watching the live stream. Thanks for joining, guys. Be sure to get your comments in the section. Let us know where you're watching from, and then we'll read them out and have a chat. So, yeah, feel free to chuck them in anytime. So Söll isn't open yet, but it's opening this coming weekend. Is that the plan?
Yeah, everything opens Friday. The whole ski out, home runs. Every home run, apparently, which, you know, there's a few home runs that haven't been open for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So if it means them as well, I'll be amazed. And I'll be heading straight there as well.
Yeah. Which is your favorite area, would you say?
Of the ski vault?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, really. Westendorf is great because it's slightly less busy. It's nice top to bottom runs. You know, it's a little bit higher, so you can get, you know, and all the restaurants are a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, that's true.
The cheapest Jaeger on the mountain is in Westendorf, that's for sure.
How much?
I think it's 360. Or it was last year, which isn't bad on the mountain.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, we put in the research, you know, we tried in most places.
Yeah.
But I love the Söll ski area. It's great in the afternoon because it's sort of the shady side of the mountain. So it stays, you know, in the spring, snow stays longer.
Have they still got the night skiing?
They do, yeah. Yeah, I think it's still Austria's biggest night skiing area.
It's the one thing I never ended up doing during my season there, and I really regret not doing it.
Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of getting the night skiing pass this winter because obviously I'm working 4 days a week.
Because it's not included on the regular season pass, is it?
No,
that's probably why.
It's not expensive to upgrade though. If you go once a week, it's paid for. Like multiple times, really.
Yeah.
I might do that and learn to ski. Finally.
Oh, finally coming around to the lighter side of the force.
Yeah, well, you know, I can slide about. I can, you know, but I wouldn't say that I can ski.
Yeah.
You know, I can get to the Holes Arm and back.
But you said so while Pisteheads is that it's going to be taken off this year, you're also, I think, working in Söll, is it, the rental shop? Yeah,
I am. Yeah, it's my first season working in a ski hire shop.
Nice.
Going for another part of the experience of living in a ski resort.
Yeah. You will have done every single job in there by not long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the instructing's ever sort of you know, you get to spend all your time on the mountain. And to be fair, I mean, I love the idea of it because you help people learn to do the thing you love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you spend a lot of time on the mountain, but very little time actually getting to go out and fully enjoy it.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, I think if you're at a certain standard of skiing, and then you all of a sudden go into instructing, all you're thinking about is wanting to just like zoom on the mountain, but you're actually, and you know,
Yeah.
especially when you're starting out, a lot of that time is just going to be focused with beginners, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it takes a little while to like obviously work your way up the hierarchy of the ski school to then get the private lessons where you get to ski all day.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got the patience, but also one of the main variables I always hear about with instructing is the amount of hours, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Of course, it always depends on how busy the resort is, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So on the Pisteheads front, because I know you were saying like originally with the drone idea, it was yourself and your brother and someone else. Is this a lone adventure now with Pisteheads, or is there other people that are helping you out?
Well, I mean, it's a lone adventure, but once again, I've got so many people that are offering, support and help in whatever way they can. Lots of people that have been in industry and are in certain positions in the industry, and which is so I'm really grateful for.
Yeah,
really, really grateful. But yeah, primarily it's sort of my own project at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great idea, man, because you're a known like figure within the resort. I think there's a lot of people who will like trust your expertise, and your character will deliver a real memorable day out for them.
No, yeah, I hope so. That is the aim.
Yeah,
I mean, I have been here for about this is my 9th winter, and I've been lucky enough to work jobs where I can ski pretty much, 5-6 days a week.
Yeah.
So I know the ski area better than most people.
Yeah, you know where all the best spots are. There's another Joe who is also a snowboarder, and he's just joined. Yeah, hey Joe. Joe's a regular. How you doing, mate? Been a couple of weeks. Yeah, what's been going on?
Yeah, nice. Fellow snowboarder called Joe.
Yeah, he's. I think he's working on his instructing. He's very much planning to go down that path.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. I mean, I know what we were obviously just saying about it, but I think that a lot of people, it's fantastic.
A lot of
my best friends here are instructors, and they all love it.
Yeah, I do admire them for having that patience, and just like you're teaching the next generation of skiers and snowboarders.
Yeah, and I mean that, like you say, they are the most patient, nice people I know.
Yeah. Because you're always going to get a few angry learners when things are not going their way.
Yeah, which is understandable, especially when people have sort of been in a nightclub the night before till 5 o'clock in the morning, and then dragging themselves up at 9 o'clock to make a lesson. Yeah, it's all part of the fun of it, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, it is. Joe's been good, but he's been ill. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of that going around, mate.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, the good old winter flu. I've been like trying to fight it as much as possible but the new seasonal crowd that rolled in about 2-3 weeks ago have been spreading it around, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm hoping here that we can open up this coming weekend. Hopefully get this snow, and then we can get out skiing. I'm itching for it.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't know what you're like in the summer, but it's like I'm not much of a mountain biker, which is quite a big summer sport, and so I'm pretty much always kind of like looking ahead to winter as soon as it ends.
Yeah, me too. I don't sit there wishing my life away, but at the same time, I'm like, come on, is it winter yet?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the mountains in the summer. I love, Austria is beautiful, absolutely beautiful in the summer.
Yeah.
You get, the weather's fantastic most of the time. We're surrounded by beautiful lakes. Half of them are too cold for me to go in, but and there is great mountain biking. I'm not into it as much as I want to be. I bought myself an e-bike this summer, so that's more the aim for next summer.
E-bikes seem to be in Austria. I think Austria is the only place where e-bikes seem to be like socially acceptable. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like anywhere else, like especially in like the hardcore sort of mountain biking communities, they just like detest them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fantastic just because you can go so much further.
Yeah,
and it's like my girlfriend's parents have got them. They're 70 and they can still cycle to the top of mountains. It's still exercise. I do have friends who are my age who just put it on turbo to go up, and they won't even take it off turbo. But I try my best to keep it on eco as much as possible, so you still get a workout. But I just get to go that extra bit of distance.
Yeah. The one thing that I always love about Austria is those hiking networks. I think they are absolutely spectacular in the summer.
Yeah, there's great. There's loads of, and they're fantastically marked as well. The whole way along, it's very, they're very easy to follow.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite out here in Canada. You don't really know sometimes where the trail's going or how long it is until you get to a certain point. And there's definitely no huts at the top where you can get beer or strudel or anything like that.
No, I mean, that is the beautiful thing about Austria in the summer. There's still, lots of huts, and there's lots of huts that then open up that are then only open for the summer.
Yeah,
because they're in the middle of a place that isn't accessible by lifts, and no one will go there in the winter.
Yeah,
and they're lovely. I really like those sort of places.
Yeah,
partly because it's an effort to get to the beer.
Yeah, it is. You earn the beer, don't you?
Yeah, you earn it. Yeah.
Joe is prepping for his trip to Les Arcs 1800.
Yes.
Not long to go now, Joe. How is it shaping up in Les Arcs? Looks like he's got to go though. Go to work.
I think they've had a fair bit of snow recently in France.
Yeah. All of last week, I kept on seeing pictures of like Morzine in particular had like a bunch of snow, but then like I know you guys got snow last week because I was seeing pictures from the Hotel Staffler over in
Niederau.
That's the one, yeah. And I know they had tons.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love that valley for snowboarding. I don't know if you made it over there. Were you based in Niederau for a little while, or?
No, I was always based in Söll, but we did drive over that way once. Do you know what? Like, at some point down the line in the future, I would love to do a bit of a European filming trip, and do a big, just spend a few weeks like traveling around, seeing some old resorts like the Ski Vault, and then exploring some new ones and just film the whole thing. But
you're always welcome to base yourself at my place for a couple of weeks if you want.
Oh, that's very kind of you, mate. I might
trip for your little Tyrol sort of part of the video.
Yeah, it's something I'd love to come back and capture, especially like all the aspects of the Ski Vault and Söll, and then I mean, I'd love to go out and do a day with Pisteheads and see what that's like, because it just sounds so fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be. I mean, all the people I've got involved and the bars that we're going to stop at lunchtime, sort of there. We've picked them because one, the location is fantastic, but the people that work there are fun sort of people that want to get involved in this sort of thing, and so I can guarantee it will be fun.
So if someone is just arriving into Söll for the first time, like what's your pitch to them? What would you say to them in terms of, why Söll?
As in, what respect?
Well, I guess just like in terms of the area. I mean, in all your years of experience.
Oh, why would you come? Why come to Söll?
Yeah.
Basically, it's a lovely small mountain village with a fantastic atmosphere, but it's also still really budget friendly. You know, we were discussing the beer prices recently and sort of looked into it. The average beer prices across resorts within Tyrol,
Yeah.
and we're well near the bottom.
Nice. How much?
Well, in the pub this year, I think it's just over €5 for a large beer.
Okay. But it's Austrian beer, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's either Austrian or German beer. You know,
Yeah.
so it's all really good beer.
It's like that. It's I just love the quality of the beers. Do you know, like, and it's all local distilleries as well that have been there for eons, and just
Yeah.
taste. I'm happy to get drunk when it's a very good quality beer.
Yeah, well, you don't feel as bad the next day. That's what I find.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Joe has said there's quite a lot to be fair in Les Arcs, but he's got to go. He'll be on the next stream. Thanks for watching, Joe.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, Joe.
Yeah, I hope you feel better. He's going to check out Pisteheads.
Yeah.
Where can people find Pisteheads at the moment?
Well, I mean, there's a Facebook page, which is a great page to see what's on, what we've been up to. You can sort of also, if you go back through the posts, you'll be able to see what we got up to this summer, which was a bit of fun, which I can mention in a minute. Otherwise, Instagram as well. We also have a website, which is pisteheads.com. It's not completely the finished article, but you know, it's still in the process of being, you know, finalized, I should say. I mean, I'm doing it all. It's my first time building a website, and I'm enjoying the process of it all as well.
Yeah,
it's fun.
But props to you for, you know, like going out there and sort of starting something like that. I mean, it must be quite nerve-wracking but exciting at the same time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just hope people want to come skiing with me, basically.
I want to come skiing with you, mate.
No, yeah. And everyone within town sort of says the same thing, that, you know, it's a great, they'd all want to do it if they were on holiday.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone I spoke to about it, who are like sort of tourists that I know, my friends that only come out on holiday, or people that used to work here and things like that, they've all said it's a sort of, you know, it's a great idea. And I'm just going to make sure it is a great, you know, everyone has the best day that they possibly can, put on as much as I possibly can for them, and, you know, just go from there. I'm going to make a video for them of the day and sort of edit it that night and then present it to them on the Friday night of their holiday.
Oh, then they've got actual, like, you know, they've got a little highlight reel of their special day, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's a wicked idea, that is, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best with that. So, what are your plans over the next couple of weeks?
Well, like I say, we're doing the quiz, so we've got sort of a starter quiz this Tuesday, just for a small amount of workers, as just to sort of like get to know each other. And then the following week, you know, the quiz starts every week from then. And then I think the tour operators start operating the 19th, I think, is the first.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be full go on that from then. But before that, we're just sort of organising as much stuff with the people in town to have as much fun as we can until people arrive, really.
Not long to go, mate? Not long.
No, it's not. No.
Well, mate, I really appreciate you coming on and
no, thanks for having me. It's been good to catch up.
Yeah. And honestly, Pisteheads sounds like an awesome idea, and I really hope that people, you know, do come and sign up to go with you guys. Anybody who's watching right now, please go check out Joe's website there for more info on it. Yeah, go Pistehead, mate.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Maybe we should have another catch up at the end of the season, and I can let you know how things developed.
I like the sound of that. Yeah, it'd be good to touch base and see just what's been going on.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, mate.
No, yeah, well, and you keep in contact. I hope you have a fantastic winter. I hope the mountain opens for you Saturday.
Yes. Fingers crossed. Cheers, Joe.
Brilliant. All the best.
Cheers. And thanks very much, guys, for tuning in for another live stream. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Joe there. Kind of really makes me wish that I was back there in Söll this winter to go spend a day with Pistehead. If you did enjoy this live stream, please make sure you like this video. If you're watching it after it's gone live, stick a comment in the regular section. I'll get back to that. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I am going to be posting some updates on conditions here in Revelstoke very soon. So stay tuned, keeping our fingers crossed that we open up. But thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.